What's up, guys? Today we have The Clone Wars Season 7, Episode 11, titled Shattered. Let's get into it.
Hello there.
What's up, guys? Hope you're all doing well, staying healthy and safe. Unofficial Star Wars here. Today's video, we have our breakdown and review of the new Clone Wars Episode 11, Season 7, titled Shattered. This is obvious, but this video does contain spoilers to the episode and season, so this is your warning. I'm also going to try to take my time and point out all the things you may have missed, whether it's an Easter egg or reference. Now moving on to today's video, we start out where we last saw our characters in the last episode, with the capture of Maul and Victory on Mandalore. Ahsoka speaks with a few members on the council, including Mace and Yoda. She informs them of the capture of Maul and the victory of Mandalore. We also see Mace say, "I sense a plot to destroy the Jedi," which we also see him say in Revenge of the Sith. As well as we also see Yoda say, "Great care we must take." The scene was important because we also see Yoda offer Ahsoka to bring Anakin a message, as he wasn't there in the meeting, which could possibly prevent the fall of Anakin in some sort of way, but it could still be too late anyway. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. They put Maul in a pod used by ancient Mandalorians so that he can't use his force powers to escape. This is also ruled out before the death of Lady Bo-Katan's sister, Satine, but was allowed one more time for this purpose. They make their way aboard the ship with Ahsoka, Maul in his pod, and the troops, while the rest of the troops are waiting to be picked up by their gunships. Ahsoka and Lady Bo-Katan say their final goodbyes and take off. Now, through the first half of this episode, we get this very unsteady feeling in monotone music that's playing over the whole time. That's also somewhat calming, as we know we have won on the Sage of Mandalore and capture of Maul, but as well as something uneasy feeling towards it, as in something's going to go wrong here and Maul will escape. They get him on board the cruiser and put him away in the cell, and everything goes smoothly. Rex and Ahsoka make their way to the deck of the cruiser, and they begin to make their way to the Jedi Council to drop off Maul. Rex goes off for a briefing, assuming Obi-Wan has defeated Grievous. Then, things get interesting here. Ahsoka begins to sense the force of Anakin's betrayal against the Jedi in the death of Mace Windu, and connects directly to Revenge of the Sith, which I absolutely love. Get ready and grab your tissue boxes. Stuff gets ugly here. With the continuous and ominous music playing, the heart-dropping words are said. Execute Order 66. To the none other Commander Rex, also known as Captain Rex, after he was promoted to Commander Rex. Rex is someone, for many of us, that we've known for our entire childhoods, like myself. I grew up with him, and the team of Dave Filoni and others at Lucasfilm do an amazing job at getting me to cry here. No one really expected this, since Rex says in Star Wars Rebels he didn't go against his Jedi, which is pretty false here.
It was a fucking lie.
He says that he'll do it to the other troops in the room, which gave me the false sense that he wasn't going to do it and it was going to be shooting at the others in the room to save Ahsoka. But this was false, as he begins to fire at Ahsoka. Thankfully, she was able to deflect all the shots and leap her way to the planning table, where she blocks all the shots 360 as all the troops come around her. Things go pretty fast here as well. She cuts her way up the ceiling and is able to escape. It's here that we really see and now know Order 66 has taken control of Rex, as I really didn't think it would. I didn't think it was. I thought he was playing. And as he tells his men to begin to spread out throughout the ship and lock down the ship, which is pretty heartbreaking if you ask me. Ahsoka makes her way to Maul and releases him, but not necessarily as a team-up, but to use him as a distraction for the other clones. And he's kind of forced to without a choice, as Ahsoka would probably kill him if he didn't. I also want to point out how sick Maul is in this episode, and does an amazing job with Sam Witwer for his voicing. So they go their separate ways, as Ahsoka makes her way to the droid room to get access to the ship, at least to a degree. We see the droid R7, which can be seen in other episodes of the Clone Wars, as well as was also Ahsoka's astromech droid when she was still part of the Jedi Order. She also finds some other droids with it, and they waste no time to get into the central computer and pull out all the files of CT-555, which is none other than the clone trooper Fives. Fives we see in pretty much every other season of the show. Just a little backstory and reminder to who he was. He was a clone trooper that pretty much loses his mind after the death of the clone trooper Tups, whose inhibitor chip comes in too early, malfunctioning and executing Order 66. Fives went on to believe that the clones had chips placed in them, and was right, but died after Commander Fox killed him, supposedly keeping the secret of Order 66. Moving on, Ahsoka goes on to find another file linked to Fives' file of Rex, which was a grievance report. His report is locked with the code. Ahsoka tries to code 08, which is a reference to the release date of the Clone Wars movie, which was released back on August 10th, 2008. His report exposes what the chips were and what they were for, and the purpose, which Ahsoka traces to what's happening now and why the clones are trying to kill her and going against her. Another little Easter egg we see here is Five's file. We can see a picture of Tups and his Jedi Master that he killed. I also love how we get the inclusion of Fives in this episode, and a bit of the overall final season of the whole show, as he was an important character to the other seasons. My favorite scene in the entire episode we see next is Maul making his way down the hall, slaughtering the clones, as we see Vader do in Rogue One at the end. This can also be seen as a parallel as well. This scene gets pretty violent as we see a clone's arm chopped off with a door, and another one before that cut in half with a piece of metal. I mean, I'm not complaining though, it's pretty cool. With this scene being absolutely insane, it makes me wonder if Maul could be more powerful than Anakin or Vader, as he doesn't even have a lightsaber, as Anakin does have a lightsaber in Rogue One, or Vader. Moving on, we see Ahsoka and the droids cleverly get a hold of Rex, simply shocking him unconscious, and then getting him to the medical bay. Also, I want to point out how sweet Rex is in the scene, and just overall while he's trying to execute Order 66. He reminds me a lot of Terminator, and he's sweet. At the medical bay, Ahsoka attempts to scan and find his inhibitor chip, but fails. She then uses the Force to look in his head to locate it, which I found pretty interesting, as she just saw a picture of it on Fives where he was, which should be the same as Rex, but, you know, it's easy to forget. While using the Force to locate it, she repeats a famous line we've heard from Rogue One: "I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me." Now thinking about it, this episode has a few connections to Rogue One. They find the chip, and the medical droid is able to perform a quick surgery to remove it. But while he's under surgery, other clones begin to make their way through the door, while the droids keep resealing it, but the clones make their way in, and Ahsoka is forced to kill them and deflect their blast with her lightsaber, and it's always sad to see a clone die. I was expecting Maul to come up behind them and help her out, but instead, we got somebody probably a lot better actually for the situation, the one and only Rex, as he shoots a few, helping her out before sealing the door again, and before too many come through. He apologizes for what happened earlier, which was a big tearjerker for me, as the two have been friends since the first episode in the first movie when we first saw them together. He calls her kid, like he did the first time they met. And then the episode ends. This left me absolutely speechless, and that's why this episode is going to land a 66 out of 10. This was an insane episode to see the events of Order 66 again, just like we did in Jedi Fallen Order. And a huge big thank you to everybody at Lucasfilm and Dave Filoni for making this show come back. I remember seeing the trailer for the show, No's Return, and thinking it was fake or a fan edit, but here we are, and I can't wait for the next episode. Huge thank you if you watched the video this far. Drop a like on today's video, and let me know what you thought about this episode in the comments below, or something you may have noticed. Check out our Instagram Unofficial Star Wars, linked in the description for more content. Subscribe for more content and videos like this, and of course, may the Force be with you. Peace out.